So guys, in this video we'll be doing the beep box from the hack the box. So this is the IP address 10.10.10.7. So I have already done the nmap scan. So you can see here I have done the nmap scan, and you can see a lot of ports are open, and there are so many rabbit holes. And SSH port open, SMTP, Apache web server, and you can see here the Cyrus POP3 server. So this previous version has a buffer overflow vulnerability, and I tried to exploit that, but I failed. So I spent a lot of time for this Cyrus, but it's a rabbit hole. And these MySQL and these are also some rabbit holes. So there is no some juicy information or any initial foothold. So let's start with the web server. So let's go to this website. As you guys can see, we have the web server on port 80, 443 and 10,000. So in the port 80, if you go to the port 80, it will be redirected to the 443. Or I can just, so this is the 10,000 port, and we can also go to the normal port 80. And even so this HTTP version already works. So this is the login to webmin, and I tried the default credentials, it did not work. And here if you see there is a elastics username and the password. So what I have done is I have run the search sprite against this elastics. So you can see there is a cross-site scripting, and this requires some user interaction, and you can see here local file inclusion. So maybe we can get some remote code execution. So let's see the contents of this file. Copy this, locate this file, and now let's see the contents of this Perl script. Okay, this is just comments, and you can see this is the local file inclusion exploit. So with this URL, vtiger crm graph.php page is equals to, and you can see here if you go far to the root, and then if you there is a file amp portal.configuration. So let's go to that. Let's copy this whole URL and paste it in here, and now hit enter. So click on visit anyway, because I'm using this netcraft extension, visit anyway, so it will detect any of the text. So you can see there is a lot of information. This file is a part of free pbx. So this you can press Ctrl F and search for pass. So if you go for password for AmpDB user, and you can also see for password for, and there is a AMP111, and the password is this one. And you can also see the type of the management user, that is admin. So maybe this password relates to the admin. Okay, that is one pair of password, AMP111 and this one. And there is a AMP0109 and this same password. So the password is the same. So maybe this password is used for creating this AMP111 etc. Maybe you don't know yet. And there is another password, that is pass w0rd. So you can also remember this password. So now you can search for any other juicy information here, and I have corrected all this information here. So this is the information we got the some few keywords, and these are the two passwords. And important thing is I also run the GoBust scan on this, and I have got bunch of information. So whenever you are using the GoBust against this HTTPS, you can use -k option. So you can see these are all the paths, and there is some information, but that is stored in the PHP file, so you cannot see using the browser. Okay, so we have got the password. So let's copy this one of the password and go to this login page. Let's try in this. So let's try first here root or you can also search, say for admin, and hit enter. So I think it failed. So now say root, paste the password and hit enter. So we have successfully logged in. You can see here webmin version 1.570, and this it is CentOS Linux 5.6. Okay, you can see here webmin backup configuration files. So you can see all of the files, scheduled backups. Okay, you can backup and you can get any information to your uh, Linux box. And webmin users, so you can, there is a root user and you can convert the uniques to webmin users, so that's your wish. So there is there is some totally controlled access for your user. So if you click on others, there is a command shell, so you can navigate to every option. You can see what you can do. You can change the other username passwords also. You can also schedule cron jobs, and you can also schedule a reverse shell cron job. So that's up to you. I'm going to execute the command shell. So if you go to others, command shell, now I can execute the shell. So what I'm going to do is I can just say searching for which Python and execute command. So here you can see there is a result which is user bin Python. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the simple bash reverse shell. So this copy this entire line. I have replaced my IP address and the port number. So let me start the listener on 1234 port. Okay, now paste this command and execute this command. So you can see we have got the shell. So let's say ID, we are root. So you can go to the, you can display the root flag. So that is the root flag. You can also search for user flag, cd home ls. So there is there are two ways. Let's go to first one, cd fanis ls, and there is user.txt. And previously we, in the local file inclusion, sorry, where is this one? So you can also copy this, and instead of this configuration file, you can also specify the passwd file to know if there are any users that is without password. So you can see the fan is user here, but it has he have the encrypted password. You can see normal services, etc. You do not have bunch any juicy information. So we have successfully rooted the box. Okay, now you can say exit. Okay, this is one way of doing, and I can log out, click on log out. I will show you another way, that is using the shell shock vulnerability. So okay, this is using the CGA script, right? So I will explain the shell shock in a brief manner. So we can create a environment variable like this. X is equals to, we can say let me create a new function, that is echo hi, and you can say like this. So this is a variable. Now echo $x. Okay, this is a variable, right? So there is a vulnerability in the bash parsing algorithm. So this, whenever there is a child process, this environment variables are being imported into the child process. So while importing, this will be treated as a function. So let me show you. So instead of echo hi, I can simply say normal uh, empty function. So after that I can say uh, echo pond. Okay, now I need to say export x. So now this x is an environment variable. This is a shell variable which is holding this command. So now what I can do is I can say bin bash underscore shell shock. So whenever I execute this process, a child process will be created, and the environment variables of all this parent process will be converted into the environment variables of this child process. Upon converting, so this will be treated as a function, and upon this parsing it will see the semicolon, and it will be completing the function parsing. So this will be treated as a function x, but the content after this semicolon will be treated as a command. So this command will be executed. Now if I hit enter, okay, that did not parse the content. So let me say echo $x. So we have exported, but it did not executed this one, but it will execute in the older versions of the bash, so that we can use against this one. So I can say admin. So before that I'm so I want to show you in the Firefox. I don't want to mess with my proxy settings of the Chrome. So okay, now let's say admin, and yeah. So let me click the intercept on and click on login. Okay, I did not select the burp. So now click the intercept on, now click on login. Now you'll get this request. So what happening in the CGA technology is this Apache web server is taking the input of this HTTP request, and you can see these are the headers: host, user agent, accept, and etc. So these headers are being converted into the environment variables, and those environment variables are being used by the CGA script. So this user agent Mozilla will be used as a recognition as a browser by the CGA script. So it will take the script information from the environment variables. So the CGI will create a new child process, and it will hand out the task. So whenever there is a new child process, and whenever, if instead of this normal content, what we can do is we can create a new anonymous function. So in that function we no need to write any code, and then what we can do is we can write the reversal here. So okay, now let me go to tools, reversal. So I can just use the normal net bash reversal. So I am setting up the listener. Okay, now paste this here. So what will happen is you can just say bin bash -c. Upon sending this request, Apache will take all this information, and it will create a new environment variable, and this user agent will be converted as a environment variable, and this will be sent to the child process. Upon converting the environment variable, the child process this gets executed. So you can see this is the function. So it will define the user agent have this function, but after this semicolon this command gets executed. So that is the vulnerability of the shell shock, the bash parsing algorithm. So let me forward this one. Forward. So you can see connection received on this. Now I can say who am I, root. So we have successfully pawned the box using the shell shock exploit. So this is the shell shock vulnerability. This is because of the bash parsing algorithm. So that's all for this video. I have shown you two ways, and you can also see there is a third way. You can directly SSH into this box using the root and this password. So that's all for this video. We have successfully pawned the B box.